everybody. Welcome. And we got a special guest tonight. So if you're a channel member on my channel, you know what to do. Go ahead and, drop the bingo bangos in the chat, or magnets. I guess you could do the magnets because we got Joe in the house.
For sure.
Yeah, there you go. Joe, welcome, man. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. You got to be part of this conversation. BC came up with this series. Wait. Here comes our latecomer. Just in time. Oh yeah. Hi, Vidal. Welcome.
So the HODL the line StreamYard for the guest, nobody was there. I tried.
Yeah, because that was next week's.
Didn't work. I tried the Crypto on the Rock stream. Didn't work. I went on the Discord. Found 2 different leaks. Neither of them worked. And I'm like, come on. I've got 5 or 6 links I'm trying. One of these has to work. Of course, it's the last one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, it's always the last one because if you kept trying, that wouldn't make very much sense.
I just got your message, by the way, on Discord. So sorry about that.
Yeah. So apparently you aren't getting notifications either.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
There we go.
There it is.
Nope.
Oh man.
I have to manually open Discord at least once a day just to see if there's any messages because I don't.
Yeah, well,
it's
so
like
you're not the
YouTube,
only
like,
one. BC was just saying that.
Like YouTube, X, all that. Like I'll get notified of something like a day and a half after somebody posted it, and I'm like, I've complained about it multiple times. I'm like, maybe it's my phone or maybe it's just the platforms.
No, user error. It's always user error.
Yeah, right. It's always the user error. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, like I can understand YouTube because say if I'm subbed like 100 people and I have notifications on all of them. Okay, I get it. If some are slow, some are not. But then it's like, like Joe's. I get his 2 or 3 times a week, maybe, which I don't know if that's his regular schedule or not. But it's like some people that I know that post daily, I don't get anything from them.
Yeah, YouTube's changing it up.
Yeah, I heard what you need to do is unsubscribe to them and then subscribe to them again. All notifications on, and then it should work. That's what I've heard.
I've heard that, but I've also heard that if you don't comment at all for like 3, 4, maybe 6 months, then they kind of ghost unsub you.
Well,
so make sure to comment on every video that y'all see, guys. That way you get notified.
I've been like unsubscribing, waiting a day or
do
2,
another comment,
resubscribing, and then I'll put like a period or something.
Well, so like,
at least it's a comment.
There's also, if you just swipe off notifications all the time, they will stop sending you notifications. So, because like your phone is smart.
It doesn't work like that on Snapchat. I'll click the not interested button on Snapchat, and then like 2 hours later, I literally get the same notification with the same text. I'm like, not interested. 2, 3 hours later, same thing, not interested. I'm like,
yeah, Snapchat doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Well, BC, why don't you wait, we should probably say hey to the chat because I think we got some people here, don't we?
We had a bunch of lurkers. They all left while we were talking about notifications.
I know, talking about.
I'm like, this isn't
bad. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize we were actually live.
Yeah, we're live, and Shuby's in the house. Welcome, Shub. Appreciate you being here, bud. Andy, is that Andy? Oh no, it's Curtis Hill. Curtis Eyes. I'm gonna let BC do the reading, I think, because I can't see shit. Oh man. Oh
yeah, you need a 49-inch screen like I got. Then you can read everything.
That's a fact, BC. that is a fact. Let's see what else have we got here. Lad's in the house. Appreciate Lad being here. Let's see. Yeah, it's here we go. We're not going to start this Android versus iPhone thing here again. And you could be right, LBC. Could be something to do with VPNs. Maybe.
I don't have any VPNs.
Oh, well, then there you go.
I mean, I know I should, but I don't.
And yeah, same to you, Lad. Thank you. But that's pretty much everybody that's here. And listen, if you're in the background, smack up that like button, share this thing out. We are all over the place except Facebook, because as we were going live, of course, it crashed because Facebook sucks. But anyway,
it did to us last week too.
It did.
So.
Every time. I out of all the live streams I've done over the past month, I think it actually worked once. So it's like I don't even know. But BC, why don't you tell everybody what we're doing here, and then we'll get Joe comment. What do you say?
Well, for anyone that's been watching, you kind of know that we've been talking about crypto, but in a little bit of a different way. Talking about the adoption of crypto. And we've had a few different people on from different sectors of the crypto space. And now we're having a few traders on. We had JR on last week to kind of talk about what he thinks crypto needs to do, not necessarily project specific here, but what the crypto industry needs to do, or what these projects need to do to kind of get this adoption curve to really increase here. Because, you know, we've seen the ETFs and all of that, but we haven't really seen crypto being adopted as like a more of an everyday use case type thing. And that's what we're here to talk about today. So, Joe, I know you've been here for several of them, but I'm gonna lay the question out for you. What do you think the crypto space really needs to do to kind of get crypto to be adopted more and bring people over from the TradFi system over to crypto? And then if you were kind of in charge of designing a project, what would you kind of focus on to make sure that you could bring some people in from the TradFi space to crypto? So those are the two questions. You can answer whichever one you want first, and we'll kind of dive into it.
Yeah, I'll kind of answer them both together because the answer that I have, it intertwines. So what you want to do is you want to make it easy. People like easy. And so not so much for the TradFi people, but I'll get to them in just a second. But just the everyday people where they're on their app and they're on Robinhood or they're on whatever, and they can trade these coins. Now, there's already a lot of people that are already doing this, but it's very hard to do this if you only have, let's say $20 extra at the end of the month or the week or paycheck or what have you. So like at the very, very beginning stage, it literally comes to people need more money. If people have more money, expendable money, then they can look forward to stocks and crypto, maybe even playing the lotto, if that's their thing. But at least now they have an open mind to investments, or maybe putting some money down for a house or a land or anything. But if you don't have that extra money, none of this, it's all like a domino effect. So once you have the extra money, or let's just say you're fortunate enough to where you have a good job, you have savings or what have you, and you want to invest, the next thing I would think is just make it easy. Have it like an app. Of course, there's a lot of apps out there already, Robinhood being one, and there's a lot of them. But you can buy stocks, you can buy crypto. But again, it comes down to just expendable money. Now, for the people who are in TradFi, who know about crypto, because most of them know about crypto because they're already investing, the thing they more than likely hear are all the rug pulls and all the bad stuff. So, but there's good stuff. There's a lot of great stuff here in crypto, but they only hear the bad stuff. Just like how crypto is illegal, bad people money. People who use crypto is only to funnel because they're doing bad activities. No, that's a part of it. Yes, bad people are going to do bad things, but when it comes to as far as what the TradFi people, what I think they just, because everybody wants money and a lot of it and fast. Yeah. So if they go into these very high risk coins, meme coins, for example, the chance of them losing is really high. But if they get into something like Link or just any other coin that has some kind of fundamentals to it, to where hopefully the excitement gets back into it, then I think more of them would get into it, because then they'll be like, oh, it's kind of a stock. Now, I will say, and I'm sure you know this, BC, some of these stocks, they are like meme coins. My buddy, he trades stocks that go up 30, 50, 80% in, I'd say, an hour, if not less. So some of these stocks can move very fast. Of course, it all breaks down to the market caps and everything else. But yeah, in a nutshell, one, we need to have excess money, because if we don't have extra money, we can't. When you're worried about should you get a steak, or you just want a steak and you end up having to buy a bologna, that's a huge difference.
Right.
So we need the expendable money first, and then after that, I just know that there are cryptos that very high risk.
Well, like with your buddy with the stocks that go 30-40% up, I mean, yeah, that's always good, but I'm sure he's invested in stock that's gone 30, 40, 50% down as soon as he bought it.
Very high risk.
I think it was like,
and he's the one that I always tell y'all, where it's like, did you take profit? He's up 80%, 90%. No, not yet. I said, dude, take profit, anything off the table. But he doesn't, and it'll come all the way down to like maybe plus 8%, and then he'll like, okay, I hit my stop loss. It's like, dude, you could have taken something. But he wants the home runs all the time. But yeah,
all or nothing.
Right.
That's right.
He's probably playing the small cap stock game, and it's very similar to trading your poopy coins over here on the crypto space.
Yeah.
But I do think it's interesting that both of the traders have brought up the same thing, and it kind of is something we've talked about here before. But the biggest problem with crypto bringing people over seems to be the fact that crypto just needs to kind of work on its image. And this is something where a lot of us have talked about, where it's like, hey, if we as the crypto space and the people that are making these projects don't, kind of self-regulate, we're going to have the government coming in here and regulating. And that's what we've seen very quickly with the Trump administration. You're having all sorts of crypto-specific bills. And this is not just the U.S. You're seeing this all over the EU. You're seeing this in Asia. You're seeing this in Australia. Literally every single place, since crypto was not able to regulate itself, is trying to regulate crypto. And that you bring up a good point, but how does the crypto space fix this? Since this is something that you brought up, and I'm sure you have some ideas of how we kind of rehash this image, or do you think that we can even rehash it at all? Is it just kind of a done deal?
I think more time, just like anything else. More time, then you see more of the cream rising to the top. You see more of the good, versus just, okay, yes, you hear some bad, but you've seen good.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
I mean, it is still kind of the Wild West, and I like to attribute it more to like America when it first came around. America when it first came around had a bunch of different dollars. There wasn't just one single currency that everyone used everywhere, and it took a long time. And you saw a lot of scummy things happening, a lot of people taking advantage of the situation, arbitrage, all sorts of things, hunting down dollars to bring it back to this other area because you get a ton of money on the interest, things like that. Very bad money lenders that would deal with one area to another. And I feel like that's kind of what we're dealing with here in crypto. And it makes it kind of hard when we're battling that to also bring other people in.
Well, and with the I don't know what's the word I want, youngness of the space, it also brings in, even if you are looking at nothing but good actors in the space, you've got these people hacking and so on and so forth, and the money is there for the taking in a lot of these cases. And I know we might get down this road in a little while, so I don't want to completely steal the thunder from it. But could I really just shout out our some people who jumped in the chat real quick, and then I got a question for Joe. Jesse in the house. Appreciate Jesse being here. Thank you, sir. And mining stocks. Shout out to you. Next week we're gonna have Daniel Diaz right here asking him the same question. So make sure you're here for that, bud. Appreciate you being here, man. And okay, so Joe, one of the things you mentioned was about apps and you know, how there's already apps, that kind of thing. And I agree with you. You're right. It needs to be easy. It needs to be simple. People just need to be able to use it. And I guess I want to say that the majority of apps today, for most of what we do, are relatively simple. You can figure them out. So if you were the guy developing one of these apps, would you be focusing on making it a decentralized app, so a dApp, or would you be thinking that in order to keep it easy, you know, hit that easy button, it has to be somewhat centralized? What do you think about that?
That's a very good question. For me personally, because I know the difference, I would want decentralized. However, with decentralized, there are a few extra hoops that you have to jump through to make it. I don't want to say it's where like you can hide, but it's not as easy to find, I guess you can say. But for me, I would prefer it decentralized, and maybe even have like in that one app, you know, to where you can choose, you know, to either be anonymous or KYC, and you know, kind of like the centralized stuff, and you show the pros and cons of each one, and then they can pick. You know, that way you
potentially have access to different things, even
right.
In theory, right? You could have because you know, as much as we say it's going to replace TradFi, yeah, that's not happening anytime soon, right? So maybe that KYC part that Joe you just mentioned goes. You also can access the TradFi versus the DeFi end of things. It's you know, you hit your DeFi exchanges. Maybe that's interesting. That's an interesting thought. Appreciate that, Joe.
And I mean, depending on what the app is, it's like you might have to force people to KYC, like LBC's idea, where it's a marketplace. Well, if you're going to be a seller, we would kind of like that you would KYC so we can have some sort of verification on here. But if you're a purchaser, maybe you don't need to KYC. You know, have a little anonymity. You're already giving people your address. What more can you ask from them?
Right. Fair enough. Joe, what now? I don't know how much you know background you were thinking about this particular episode, but did you have any other thoughts that you want to kind of throw out there and hash around before we keep pounding you with questions here?
No, just the whole thing as far as, you know, how to make it more accessible. Just gonna make it easy. But then when I was thinking about it, it's like, even if it was easy, because there's a lot of people that, you know, I run into where literally they cannot spend an extra dollar to buy whatever it is until paycheck. And it's like 3 days away. It's like, dude, you don't have $1? I was like, nope. I was like, wow. Like that's, to me, I didn't, of course, you know, I know people, some, you know, live paycheck to paycheck, you know, yes, I get it. But, and there was like 3 of them in 1 week where, you know, I was saying something or other. It's like, yeah, you know, it's $1. It's like, yeah, I'll probably get it on payday. And I've bought stuff for people that was just like literally $2, but they didn't have the $2. And so if you don't have the money, then like none of this even makes any sense to them. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's where, like, I've kind of seen with what LBC said, whereas it's like, if you can make it where they're using crypto without knowing they're using crypto, and then give them the rewards in crypto to kind of make them actually go forward, use crypto, then that would be kind of a way where it's like, okay, well, you don't have extra dollars, but now you have extra dollars. And it's very specific to whatever app you're using, or say it's Coinbase or something like that. It's very specific. So it kind of keeps you in that ecosystem and makes you look a little bit further. And that would be one of the ways that I could think to kind of answer that question, where I don't have extra money. Well, the crypto system has a really cool thing where you stake and people could get extra money instead of having like your savings account where, okay, well, now I'm in the system, you know, and build that ecosystem. I think the biggest problem with that really comes back to that image problem that you brought up, though. Where it's like, well, why would I do that when I could just use the savings account? And that's why I think you kind of have to foist it on people, where it's like, you didn't know that you used crypto, but here's this token that's based in our app or whatever. And now you get some rewards for whatever kind of thing you want, and you spend your crypto, and it just kind of forces it upon people without, you know, making it like an arm twist.
Right.
Interesting.
Well, the problem with like staking, though, in a lot of cryptos, not all of them, but some of them, is there's an unbonding period, there's an unstaking period. Like, depending on which platform you use, it depends on how they word it. Like, some of them are like 29-day unstaking or unbonding.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's
those
like,
are usually
I need that
centralized.
money now, you know, and it's like, well, oh, you got to wait 29 days, and then the price plummets, and it's like, well, okay, I'll just restake it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like a lot of, kind of going back a little bit, like currency, to my knowledge, from what I've understood and read, is currency changes every 100 years. We've been on the US dollar now for a little over 125 years. Bitcoin, you guys can say, is new, but it's been around since January 3rd of 2009. So it's already almost 17 and a half years. So it's already like a quarter of the way through its life cycle. And it's still not even adopted or anything.
I mean, we had Roman currency for like 1,000 years. Like, I don't know about that, you know.
Well, and I mean, he's accurate to the fact of, like, you know, in what we've had for a current crappy system, that's been about the life cycle, right? You know, in the modern age. But I want to throw something out there, because I'm still thinking about what Joe's saying about apps and stuff like that. And I know I touched on, and I'm flirting around with the whole AI thing, because I really do think some of this kind of is going to play into that. But, you know, you hear, as, you know, AI is becoming more and more prevalent. You hear job layoffs, you hear all this kind of stuff with regard to AI. It makes sense to me, and to the point, like, even like BC just said, there's a staking mechanism here, there's ways to earn yield, that they might try, or maybe it should be made in an app or something like that, to try to create a UBI type of situation that would be built in cryptocurrency, that would incentivize people strictly on the UBI basis, if nothing else, to then maybe jump into the system. I would love to hear all your guys' opinion on that. I know we might have varying opinions on UBI. I'm not a fan, frankly, but like I get where there might be a need for it during a transition period if AI is even near as disruptive as they think. What do you guys think? Whoever wants to go first, jump in.
Well, we can let Joe go first since he's the guest.
He's the guest.
Right.
Yeah.
Summarize the question again.
Basically, do you see, like, whether in an app form or just in crypto in general, it being able to be used as like UBI? to maybe help with humans who get displaced because of this AI revolution that's supposedly coming here. Do you see? Because when you said, easy to use apps, I'm thinking, well, that's pretty easy, and that will give people super incentive to use it. Do you see what I'm saying? That's kind of my thought process. What do you think?
Yeah, let me go last on this one. Let me see what y'all say.
All right, BC, Bedell's reading his phone, so you go. What do you think?
Well, honestly, I think it's a interesting question because we've already seen states like Wyoming trying to come out with like $1. And the quickest way to kind of transition to a UBI would not be on a federal level like that. It'd be more of like a state by state basis, because like some states are going to be more displaced than others. Some states are more where it's like, hey, well, you're the food manufacturers, you have less of a need for a UBI than other states. And then slowly you would see it more integrated. But a state by state basis, kind of have like a state based blockchain. And this would be like a kind of like you log on for your unemployment benefits type thing. Something like that. But instead of it being outside where it's like, hey, we just deposited this money into your account, it's like, hey, here's your state crypto, it's good at all locations. And then it would kind of slowly force it, and it would also allow the state to really kind of track what are all these dollars being used on, how are these people in the system using this, what do we kind of need to cater to in all of these situations. It kind of open up the door to see, for a more of an AI driven world, what we might need to focus on.
You're being very generous, I think, DC, with regard to how it would be utilized, that kind of information. Now listen, I think personally I'll go, and then we'll throw it to you, Bedell. So get ready. Okay. But I really think that there is an opportunity here. Matter of fact, when I first got into the crypto space, it was something I actually wrote about, being able to use cryptocurrency to create and generate a UBI kind of situation. Now, I didn't consider it, like you just said, at the time. That wasn't even a thing. We're talking way back 2017, right? So like, state by state, stable coin, that was so but that is an interesting perspective, because therein alone lies your decentralization to some point. You know what I'm saying? But like things like staking, mining, and I would think if we took some of the combination of the guests that have been here previously. So for example, you brought up LBC a couple of times tonight, where LBC's whole kind of platform kind of thing, maybe some of the proceeds from that kind of a platform gets regenerated somewhere to help with UBI, all that kind of thing. To me, I could see an entire ecosystem being built that on the user side would be easy, like you said, logging in, like for your unemployment, for example. But like once it's all pulled together, man, I don't know. That seems like it could be a real powerful answer to things to me. Or at least maybe I'm being too simplistic. I don't know. Bedell, what do you think? And then we'll go to Joe and give him a shot at it. What do you think?
So y'all know I'm not that big of a fan of AI, but I just had to ask you some basic questions, and I asked 3 questions, or 3. So how many jobs have been replaced from AI in the last 5 years in the USA? And it came up with $1.2 trillion in wages and 11.7% of the US labor market in 5 years. Now, where was AI 5 years ago?
Practically non-existent. Yeah.
So then I cut it down. I went to 2 years. Pretty much says the same thing, except for in the last 2 years, it's been between 200 and 300,000 jobs per year. So multiply that by 2, because, say 400 to 600,000 jobs in the last 2 years, right? I broke it down to 1 year. And it says that net monthly loss from Goldman Sachs economists estimate that AI replaces about 25,000 US jobs per month in the last year. Now, I mean,
Okay.
if you take I don't know what the population of the United States of America is, but 25,000 jobs a month AI is already replacing on average.
Well,
that's a pretty
That's a
big
bunch of
number.
HR ladies and stuff like that.
yeah. Yeah, some of them.
Well, I mean, I'm not going into specifics because it doesn't give me
Right.
specifics, but I didn't ask for specifics. I just asked for like a basic overall average number.
Numbers. So the bottom line is there's going to be a need. I mean, obviously, some of these people are going to retool, they got to retrain, they got to learn to work with the AI or in a new capacity, right? But what do you think about the being able to use the crypto and potentially an app or whatever with regard to creating a UBI, a universal basic income, for people who might be displaced?
I mean, I feel like the UBI is going to be something that's going to be coming here maybe in 10 years, maybe 7, 8. Because with AI replacing this amount of jobs every month or every year, like, you know, it's only going to be a matter of point until they start overtaking like the trades and the unions, and then you're going to have unions full of robots doing, say, concrete work.
It's going to be iRobot, baby.
Yeah, I mean, like, I worked for a company that was building they would build houses, but they were like kind of pre-built in a factory, and you would have a laser shine down on a table, and you would literally just line up all the wood because all the robots or the computers pre-cut the wood, and every piece of wood had a stamp on it, and it would be like, and then you'd see like the laser on the table, it would show like the whole diagram, and it'd be like A3 here, A1 there, A2 here, you know, B 1 2 3 whatever, and you just put it there as long as it lined up, push a button, you know, pneumatic nailers would just come in and just nail everything together, and off it goes onto a semi truck. That's how houses are built mainly nowadays, but well, not all, but most.
I got you.
And it's like, and that was 15, 20 years ago. I can only imagine how that company is now, or a better company. You know, there's probably not even a person there putting the wood there. Like, it's all pre-sorted.
Well, we're definitely going to see an exponential growth with regard to that. Obviously, we're already seeing it just from like the LLMs that are out there. The growth, and hell, the government's now stopping people from having access to certain LLMs. So let's not get me going about that. Joe, I mean, what do you think?
Like sorry, I do feel like the UBI it's got to be coming here soon, maybe 7, 10 years, because at that point, like, inflation, all that, like, nobody can afford to live, and they have to get it. Most people now have to have 2 or 3 jobs just to live. You know, it's not how it was 30 years ago when the father could work and the mother was stay at home with the kids. You know, like, now both people have to work and barely afford the bills.
Facts.
And now a lot of these people are losing their jobs, so now it's a one household income that can't afford anything.
Facts. All right, Joe, what do you think? And for the clarification, says you got your $14.
That's all I have. 14. That's it. But if somebody needs 2, I'll give them 2. That's for sure.
Yeah, there you go.
But when it comes down to like all this stuff, I kind of lost track of it again. But what you were saying in reference to the like AI, and well, not AI, but just being able to track like your spending through the government, you know. Now, here's a question, because this is what I kind of got from it. You can track your spending, or rather the government can track your spending, but would people really want that? Like, I would like to track the government spending, but would that be something to incentivize people to get into crypto to where now they can be monitored to that extent?
I mean, but you're already kind of monitored like on a broad scale with just the
Yes,
normal
with
track.
your debit card, every transaction, it's a history, everything. But when you take out cash, there's your freedom. Now, granted, you don't know where your money went. Like, where'd my $100 go? Like, I don't even know what I bought. But the government, same thing. Like, they don't know what you spent that money on. So and I don't know, but I would think that a lot of people don't like like being spied on, like with our phones. I mean, we know our phones. It's already come out now that our phones listen to us. Before it was just a crazy guy with the foil hat on his head saying, "No, cover your phones, they're listening." And now we know, like, hey, they are listening.
Yeah.
But I don't know, when it comes down to just having like the government doing that or the ability to do it, I think that kind of scare away people. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the flock cameras. I'm sure most people have.
Mhm.
I mean, some towns, some counties, some states are getting rid of them. Other states are adopting them, and it's like it's a big uproar. But it's like it's an AI camera that tracks people coming and going, reads all the plates, facial recognition, all that AI, and and it's like that's a different topic, but it's like that's AI. That's another use for AI. We can eliminate the police officers on the streets by the use of these cameras.
I don't
So,
know
like,
about that, but
when
okay.
it comes to the surveillance, it's all just kind of a moot point. It's like you're going to be surveilled. You can complain about the flock cameras. We literally have satellites that are good enough to track your car leaving your house and the route that you took to your job. They saw that you stopped for your Starbucks coffee. They might even be able to see what Starbucks order you got. Like, it's a moot point. So the whole tracking thing, like they track on the TradFi system. It's kind of nice though to be able with blockchain to be able to at least verify, where it's like if we're going to have an open source blockchain for UBI, we're going to end up seeing all of this. And then not just on our end, but on the government ends too. Like, they're going to benefit from it, but also we are going to benefit from it. There's going to be a lot more accountability, unless what they're doing is, here's the public blockchain for y'all, and here's our private blockchain that we're using. And then we'll convert your private tokens into the public tokens that you can then use to do everyday business. It'll kind of just depend on how this all goes. And this is the whole tracking thing. I think it's a very moot point, because someone brought that up to me the other day at work. They were like, "Oh, you said you have one of those listening robots in your room," because I had said something about turning on the lights. I'm like, "Hold on, do you have a VPN on your phone?" And they were like, "No." And I was like, "Then I don't want to hear it." Like, you're complaining about the robots in your house listening, and you carry a listening device in your pocket at all times, and you don't even take the minimal amount of protections.
What I would really like is for it to be reciprocal, to where, fine, the government tracks every single thing we do on the blockchain. Got it. I would like to see what the government's doing. You can see us, like, okay, just be fair, let us see you. That's what I would really, really like. Will that ever happen? Never in a million years.
I was watching a video last night that
they can shuffle the cards different ways and play 3-card Monty all day long. They're always going to win.
I was watching a video last night. I won't say from who, unless if somebody wants to know. It's a nice guy. I like him. He's from Milwaukee. But the White House has failed its last 8 audits because they don't feel the need to be audited. And there's so many like ins and outs of all the different companies and things that they oversee that it's almost impossible to audit the Pentagon.
Well,
I mean, like their budget just keeps growing and growing and growing, and it's like, well, if I can spend $1 million this year, then next year I need 5 million, then I spend 5 million, then next year I need 15, and then you get 15. Oh, well, now I need 50. Oh, now it's 200 million. It's like, well, what are you spending all this money on? Here's
being the world's police. I mean,
yeah.
And we suck at that. Look what's happening right now. Anyway, without getting completely political. Anyway.
I was just throwing it out there that Pentagon's failed its last 8 audits.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can't audit the government, but yet they can audit us. Like, okay.
We got some people that have jumped in. Appreciate you being here. And let's see. Proof of Walk at Dave Digital. Appreciate Dave. Listen, 11 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You want to get a workout in. You got the time, whether it's walking. I do a workout while he's there. It's great. So go ahead and check that out. I had to put this in the translator because I had no idea. And he said, greetings from Russia. Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Where'd you end up at? You ended up here on HODL the Line, baby. We're talking crypto, and unfortunately, we go down a number of rabbit holes to other things. So it just is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
And Shuby back about the whole camera and drone thing. And I know BC kind of replied to that. And I want to, is this LBC?
Yep.
Do you, wait, what's that say? Do
you crypto to make fiat, or do you crypto to change finance transactions and money? So Joe first.
Interesting.
For me, I would like to crypto to change finance in transactions. That's what I would like to do. Currently, right now, I'm doing crypto. Well, I'm in the process of, because, you know, the whole changing of finance thing, crypto is the answer. It really is. And tangible assets, land, house, more land though, but like all that stuff, that's how we can exit whatever we call the rat race. And but fiat is definitely not what you want to hold. But for me, crypto to change finance and transactions.
Fair enough. What about you, BC? We got Bedell walked away. You don't want to answer this. Yeah.
Well, clearly I'm here in crypto to make a change in not just finance transactions and money, but also like the way we move information around, the way that we just run the entire world. Because, you know, to me, I see crypto as not just the internet money or the peer-to-peer, but as a technological revolution. That's it's the only way that we can give power back to the people that no one would be able to take back from us if you choose to use it. You could have, we've talked about it in your whole beginners crypto series, where you could literally have doctors' offices running on the blockchain, and you have smart contracts where you get paid off of your service, but also my information is on the blockchain, and I'm able to control what information from my medical history that you're seeing, all tied into a nice little neat smart contract. So I think it's more than just money and finances and transactions. It's an entire way of life.
Yep. I think, you know, I pretty much agree with that. But to the point of, you know, finance and transactions, listen, I think that's got to be point number one, because if you don't control your money and other people control your money, they control you. A part of why I believe and have been very much focusing a lot, and you guys know it because I say it here all the time, on Dash lately. You know, it is functional. You can use it today. You can transact immediately with it. So it's like, So to me, that's point number one, with the ultimate point being what BC just said, because I'm not going to reparrot that because he said it so well. Bedell, what about you, sir? What say you on LBC's question here?
I just like that the fact that it's another form of money. Granted, it may not be legal money, but I mean, almost 7 years ago when I got into crypto, I was mining Ethereum and I hated Ethereum. But I was converting it to Bitcoin and I was buying 3D filament and I was buying stuff using Bitcoin. So that's kind of nice that it was transactions, kind of a form of money that wasn't necessarily tied to me at the time. But now you have all these exchanges that you have to KYC through and you're forced to. So then it's not like it's anonymous that much anymore. But it was like back in the day, I liked buying 3D print filament. I liked buying 3D printers with Bitcoin that I mined as an anonymous person. I mean, the only way to get to track it back to me was follow the money to the person that or the company that I bought X from, and then that shipped it to me. I mean, that'd be the only way. But I mean, back then I liked it. Now it's kind of like everything is KYC, everything is tracked. So it's like, to me, it's not much different than fiat money or digital fiat money in your bank account. Every time you swipe your card, it's tracked.
Of course it is.
I think it was Joe that brought up the whole thing with cash. Like, oh, where'd that $100 go? Well, I don't know. There's no way to track it. Nobody has a way to track cash.
Yeah.
I mean, they do. It's just a whole lot harder.
Yeah. That's
yeah,
why
I mean, they could find the serial numbers and this, that, and the other, but you go to the bank and you take out $100 and they give you like 5s and 10s and maybe some singles. Like, they ain't worried about them serial numbers on $100 withdrawal.
I mean, it's all automated into it.
Yeah, maybe now it is, but 5-10 years ago, it wasn't that automated, but maybe it was, maybe it wasn't.
The only money they don't track is the pallets that they send to foreign.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, let's be honest, right?
I think we'd all agree that if one of them pallets went missing and it just ended up in our driveway, it'd be okay.
What driveway? What pallet? What? Oh man. Okay, I see he's answering that.
Yeah.
We're 50 minutes in, guys, already. I can't even believe that. This conversation has just been like so what do you guys got? Do you guys, Bedell, BC, you got any more questions that we want to throw at Joe real quick before we kind of start wrapping, or what?
Not really. I really thought it was interesting that the two traders kind of had very similar answers, where it's like, hey, crypto's battling an image problem and they're doing a lot of stuff they need to do, but the one thing that they could really do is just make it where even a monkey could do it,
And just to bring, I mean, sure, if you're putting it in a wallet that isn't already like been exposed, I suppose.
Yeah, you got the wallet that could be exposed, then you got the exchange.
Here's the thing: it's like with proof of work, you don't have to. That's what everyone keeps like. That's where most people are getting it wrong. You don't need crypto exchanges.
Yes, thank you.
Like, you don't need it. Like, sorry.
Listen,
as long as you know what you're doing,
right? So run a quick thought. If I was mining Bitcoin and pulling in those rewards, I take it to a wallet that's brand new, spin it up, boom, bang. Nobody knows who owns that wallet, right? Then take that to a Dash wallet that nobody knows because actually now it's like Bitcoin. They change the addresses all the time. So like, boom. But if I was really still paranoid, I'd run it through the internal mixer. And then guess what? boom, I can literally spend it anywhere, whether it's in there or I take it to a gift card or I take it to a whatever. And ain't nobody need to know, didn't need no exchange. It's just done.
Yeah, but there are companies that devote their whole company assets to tracking a certain wallet, even through a mixer.
Of course they do.
So just because you use a mixer doesn't mean you're safe. But
Well,
you know,
if they
as long as
don't
you don't
know
know anything through that's like KYC or have it shipped to your house, well, then it is what it is, right? Like,
But like the whole point is moot if you don't know who owns the wallet.
right.
But like your whole thing was like, oh, KYC and blah blah. Like you don't have to KYC.
You don't need it. If you stay completely decentralized, you don't need it.
right.
Like proof of work is you just buy from the supplier.
Yes.
It'd be like
that was another thing. Yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
You go black. Didn't even think about that. There you go. Boom. Boom.
Or
There it is.
it'd be like, hey, I'm the federal government. Hey, Federal Reserve, give me dollars.
Yeah,
Well, let me ask you this
that
though:
system.
say proof of work, non KYC. How do you get the money, or how do you get the product that you're trying to buy without giving out your personal information?
What do you? I'm confused.
So okay, so what are you doing with the money then, or what are you doing with the coins?
I mean, holding them. If you want to
Or
spend them, you can spend them.
whatever.
Like put it in my software wallet, put it in my hardware wallet, not keep it on a centralized exchange.
Okay, but if you spend the coins or you decide to spend the coins
Mm-hmm.
and you have an item shipped to your house, well, that's how they get you, or they ship
You
it.
use your real name when you're having items shipped to your house. When I'm buying things on the internet, I just use a random name. I just like they don't need to know my name. I'm sorry. I'm purchasing a watch band from. I just purchased a watch band from China. You know, I did not use my name. I just like it. You just put a name as long as it's like shipped to your address and they got their funds. They don't care who's buying it.
I guess your postal carrier doesn't really care because mine is like, oh, well, we need every name that for a package or a letter that's going to be shipped to your house. And I'm like,
No, they
well,
don't.
that list grows every
They
6
really
months.
don't.
No,
Yeah.
they don't. There's
They really
no
don't.
law that says they need your exact.
Well, no, but when you have a package that literally comes to your front door or your mailbox and then it gets returned because they don't know the name,
that's none of
and
it.
then it gets returned to sender.
Was the address right and all of that? That's them doing stuff that they're not supposed to do.
Facts. And go take it to one of those mailbox places.
Nah.
Hey, look, it's John Doe from 123 Main Street. There you go.
Or just get a PO box. There's all sorts of stuff that you can like every YouTuber.
I mean, not that that's what this is about, guys. This is not telling you how to.
Well, I'm just saying that, like,
confused.
sometimes there are like small little hiccups, and yes, there's so many fixes, but I'm not gonna go get a PO box.
I've literally had stuff mailed to my house, and they put BC Port Corp because they don't know my name. Like,
well, see, so when I was having sports cards delivered to my house, and it said Crypto Badell, I had 4 or 5, 6 packages in a row. No problems. And all of a sudden it was, nope, name not on registry, return to sender. Next 4 or 5 packages got hit return to sender. And they were like, oh, here, we're going to put this in there. We're going to highlight this. You need to write down every name.
Yeah, that's on your mailman.
On this house.
Yeah,
that's specifically on your mailman.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like we have names on our mailbox. We've gotten mail from people that lived here a long time ago.
Yes.
But the address is correct. They just give the mail to the address. Your mailman is way too bored and probably doesn't have a lot of houses on their route.
Seriously, though. Seriously.
I mean, but at the same time, like, I was a mailman when I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of like the whole thing back then. Is like, here, You know, like you open up the mailbox, there should be a list of names or last
Mhm.
names or first names inside the door. And if the name is not on the thing, you're just returning it to sender. But I guess it's on how they do their job and how well they want to do their job, or how
So
poorly
the
they want to do their
boonies,
job.
this is the boonies where you don't have a lot of houses versus the city where they're like, I have to deliver to the same amount of houses that you're delivering to in one neighborhood. They don't have time. Boom, 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 boom. Address is right. Address is right. You got your mail. You got your mail. They don't care whose mail it is.
Facts.
All right,
right.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
That was
But
a
Joe,
nasty derailment.
what do you say,
I thought we
bro?
were
Wrap
crypto on
us
the
up
rocks for a
here.
moment. We're going all over the place.
I know we
Crypto on
have
the
been all over the place, and we did not stay on task tonight, but it was fun. It was a good conversation. But Joe, wrap us up, brother. We're almost at the hour. You're going to bring us in. Land this plane.
All right. Well, what do you want me to say? I don't know.
Whatever you like. You're the guest. Whatever you want. Wrap
Are
up however
we
you
going to
want.
forward to your show next?
No, I go live on Mondays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. So right now we're going to hopefully go to JR stream. JR streams at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, Monday through Friday, I think, or Monday through Thursday. Sunday through Thursday, he goes live, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. And then, of course, for me, only Mondays and Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. On my show, if y'all don't know, on my show, I show you how to trade in the most simplistic form. I don't do complicated terms or say things that, make me sound way smarter than I am, only to trick you to join my group. But I just show you level by level. And it's funny, though, because like all the stuff that I show, I get traders that have, Elliott waves and everything else. They're like, man, Joe, that's the third wave, this and that, blah, blah. That's exactly where I thought I was going to go to. It's like, oh, cool. I thought so because, well, it has this level and this level, and it did this. And then another one will say, oh, that's right at my 200 SMA. It's like, oh, cool. Well, because I look to the left and I see this resistance. And so, like, a lot of stuff that I show, other traders, they give me the confluence of saying, hey, I agree with you because of all this extra stuff that I'm doing. I was like, oh, cool. Well, because of this and this, it's just what I see. But I try to make it a little bit easier. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. I could be wrong. But guess what? The trader with 1,000 indicators and 1,000 different scenarios or whatever, it could go up or down. They could also be wrong. So do you want to spend an hour and a half? You could be wrong, or looking at something and be in there 15 minutes. It's that long. And be like, oh, I could be wrong too. So that's how I look at it. Because there's a lot of traders that I look at, really great traders, and they're doing other scenarios. And then, sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. But all we have is probabilities. And that's what I talk about on my channel, probabilities. But, I just try to keep it really simple. Mondays and Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Appreciate that, Joe. And I don't know. I appreciate the simplicity of it all. I listen to some of these traders, and I just like, man.
Yeah. Really quick. I saw this trader, really good guy, love the dude. And he was going to talk about Bitcoin. I know we're kind of running late now. I'm taking over the show. Sorry.
All right.
And really good guy. I love his thought process, the whole nine. He's talking about Bitcoin. He starts off, okay, Bitcoin, it could go up. But then if this happens, it could go down. But then if we're looking at this level, it could go to the 786. But if it shoots to the value area low, so in the beginning, I'm like, okay, he's saying long. Oh, no, wait, no, he's saying short. No, he's saying long. No, he's saying short. Literally within the first 7 minutes, I didn't know which one he was on right now because it's go long, short, and long, short. And then he goes to a different time frame, and it's like, oh, man. So I was hoping to, at least after 30 minutes of listening, hopefully, like I could see which way he's more geared to or leaning towards. Because, again, we don't know what's going to happen. But are you... And this is what I ask everybody who I watch when I see them live, because everybody gets, could go up, could go down, nobody knows. But where is your plan A? Do you think we're going to go up or down? But if this happens, then look for this. And that I understand. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, fair enough. At this point, I don't see JR live or anything queued up for him. And I saw him meet Damien, but it doesn't look like he's live for another 15 or 20 minutes. So we'll just then wrap up the stream here. But Bedell, anything else you got here before we wrap up that you want to throw out there?
I just want to say, pull up Shuby's comment because he had a hat returned that he sent to me.
I did. I had it up already.
The same little issue, and it's like, yeah. I mean, it happens. It sucks, but it is what it is. I guess that's what happens when you live in a rural area. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just you. Just saying.
No, your mailman just doesn't like you.
I mean, I get packages
Yeah, we love you.
delivered to the next door neighbor, and I just gotta walk over there and grab it because it's like, oh, here's proof. And I was like, well, it's not on my porch. I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the neighbor's. Walk over there and just grab it. But it's like, how do you mess up numbers? Like, whatever. But you know,
Well,
people just not doing their job properly, I guess. And then there's other people that are doing their job well too good. Oh, this name's not on the address. Return to sender. Oh, look, it's 345 address. Oh, let's give it to 365. Whatever, you know, like.
Yep.
As
Fair
long
enough.
as it's delivered, they still get paid.
That's a fact. Government open or not. Anyway,
All right, Joe. We'll see you on your stream in an hour.
no.
Yep,
What?
it's Monday. It's
Oh
Monday.
yeah.
Mondays and Fridays.
Yeah. I forgot today was Monday. Dude, good Lord. Sorry, Joe. BC, what about you, bud? Anything going on peeps need to know about?
Nope. Should probably reach out to LBC here this weekend. It's been a little while since we've done a show, and baseball season is finally over, and my job is not murdering me anymore with hours. So
Sweet.
Nice.
I'm about to have some free time again.
Nice. Excellent. Well, we'll be good to have you back on like more regularly. I'll tell you that.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right. And for me and my end of things, Jar and I are not live. We got this week off. Okay. So no Matrix Money tomorrow night. But Friday night, back at it with Crypto on the Rocks. So we'll see you guys Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Joe, man, I appreciate you being here and being part of this crazy conversation we've had tonight. It's been awesome.
Oh, I love it.
Appreciate you. And everybody in the chat, thanks for being here. We're here every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. But I guess it's come time we're going to dance our way out of here as usual. So that's it for us, man. Have a good week. Take care, everybody.
Night all.
Awesome outro.
Yeah. Screens glow. Timeline scream. Same fear, different day. Lock in. Huddle the line. Don't blink, don't fold. Hands stay steady when the stories get old. Charts go wild, but the base is fine. Mindset grounded, battle calm. BC breaking down the noise. Hold the line. Yeah, we ride that grind through the fear, through the foot, through the echo chamber signs. They panic, sell. We design the climb. Hold the line. Yeah. Old school charts in a new age storm. Seen cycles born, seen cycles torn. Zoomed out vision, long-term frame. While the feed chases candles, he studies the game. Macro whispers, history rhymes. Patience weaponized over time. No panic button, no rush to speak. Just